moved into place very close to the center of the landing there, right in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier. This is one of those responsibilities that President Biden has always taken very seriously. As Courtney mentioned, his son served in the Delaware Army National Guard. He served overseas in Iraq. He died from brain cancer in 2015. And the Biden administration has done a tremendous amount of work around making sure that veterans who were exposed to toxic chemicals in their work around the world are cared for. You see here the First Lady now entering, along with Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff as well, coming into place just ahead of the President and the Vice President, Jose.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, when the President does appear, we will, of course, go to that. But, General, just wondering how fortunate we are as a nation to have the armed forces of this country. Oh, I don't want to interrupt. Let's go right to that.
Right shoulder on. High. Carry. High. Colors ready. Cut.
The Armed Forces Honor Guard and United States Army Band are formed and waiting as the President of the United States moves to the tomb of the unknown soldier to place the wreath.
And we're going to continue our conversation with Courtney Kube and General Barry McCaffrey. Courtney, now the president and all the people that are with him today on this very important day are entering that. What's the process going forward now?
Yeah, so they'll go inside that room in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier for a bit before coming out to make some remarks. Just a little bit about sort of what we're seeing here. Standing there with the president and Vice President Kamala Harris, of course, was Secretary of the VA Dennis McDonough, and then the two-star general there. A lot of people may not be familiar with him, Major General Trevor Bredenkamp. So he's the commanding general of the Military District of Washington and of the Joint Task Force for the National Capital Region. And I have to say, I'm struck by sort of the overall symbolism of this moment, where we are in this moment right now with a change in administration coming only in a matter of weeks here. Major General Bredenkamp, his job, one of his responsibilities is maintaining continuity of government, the military piece of that for U.S. Northern Command. And here we have two people standing there with him, President Biden, Vice President Harris, both of whom have pledged to the American people only in the last several days that there will be this peaceful transition of power. And there we have the military face of the continuity of government. That is one of his roles there. Now, it's not lost on me just the moment that we are in right now with all of those people and the roles that they have to play in this continuity government over the next several months. Now, in addition to that, in the crowd there, I did see a number of political appointees from the Pentagon, the Secretary of the Army, Christine Wormuth, Secretary of the Air Force, Frank Kendall. But in addition to that, there were a number of senior military officers there as well, including, as we saw, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General C.Q. Brown and his wife, the Vice Chairman, Admiral Grady. There are a lot of questions right now about how the military leaders in the Pentagon, what could happen over the next several months in a Trump administration, whether some of them could be replaced or not. So, I mean, this is it's a stark moment right now on this Veterans Day to see that there is so much potential change afoot with just the people that we saw there at Arlington Cemetery there, Jose.
Yeah, and I mean, General, I was just starting to tell you right before we began this day, the importance of Veterans Day and what it means and what it signifies, to be able to live in the United States of America. Many of the freedoms and many of the just how we are able to live our lives are based on the armed forces of the United States and the impact that they have had since day one.
Yeah, no question. There's 18 million veterans, and they've all got families. There's another 2 million plus in the active armed forces, National Guard, Reserve, and active duty. They're deployed all over the face of the earth, including one of my grandsons in the Air Force. So it's a very important day to come together and recognize not just a sacrifice. We had 2 million some odd Americans step forward to defend us after 9/11, fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, 60,000 killed and wounded. So it's a very important point of time in the national remembrance. And here you're watching the old guard, the 3rd Infantry Regiment of the U.S. Army that maintains its presence 365 days a year at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and the Joint Color Guard to come together and to remind us of the teamwork, the sacrifice, and the commitment to service of our veterans.
And Aaron, I'm just thinking the fact that this is President Biden's last time doing this, there must be so many different emotions there today.
I would imagine so, Jose. We talked about the fact that his son, Beau Biden, was a veteran before his death in 2015. That obviously is something that weighs on the president. We hear him speak about often. I would imagine he will speak about that today in his remarks in just a few minutes here. But this is a person who has the very unique responsibility of being the commander-in-chief. He is the person who decides when and where American troops go into harm's way. And that is, I would imagine, a heavy burden for any one person to have to bear. And the buck stops with him. And so